What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I am your host, Rex Ruger, along with my esteemed and silent colleague, the Alexis Arguello puppet, standing guard at this makeshift studio while Off the Couch Boxing Land upstairs gets a facelift and paint job. But I am Rex Ruger, obviously.
And I'm your other host, Frank Benji's, back with another episode.
Yeah. Yep. Guess who's back? Back again.
Frankie's back. Tell
a friend. I don't think people tuned in to hear us saying. What they tuned in for was to get their fill, their fix, if you will, of all things.
Oh, they want my expert knowledge of boxing?
Yeah. Our guest is here. Shut your pie hole. Shut it! We got our guest in here, man.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Never mind hearing from you. There he is. What's up, bud?
Not much, man. Sorry about that. Sorry about lagging it. I was driving all day, man. And I just remembered right now.
Hey, well, listen, man. When family stuff comes up first, man, you got to deal with that, man. I mean, absolutely, man. I mean,
yeah, no, but it's I should have let you guys know. We got carried away a little bit, but now I'm here.
Listen, man. First and foremost, congratulations, man. You just won a fight the other night, did you not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Last Saturday, I won my fight by KO on the 4th round.
Congrats. Yeah, and for people that don't know, of course, Jose Delgado joining us, man. Explain to people a little bit, the unique situation that you find yourself in as a boxer, because it is very unthinkable, to try to imagine a guy in the boxing ring having gone through the accident that you suffered with your right leg.
Yeah, well, growing up, 6 months of age, I was in a car accident with my parents, which it caused me to lose my being my leg cut off completely by the passenger door. With the over 70 surgeries, I was able to get my leg reattached. Growing up, just having multiple surgeries, and then I got into the boxing game. I want to say after one of my biggest surgeries back in 2006, just because I was overweight. So my parents' goal was just to get me in the boxing game, just to lose weight, and then out of nowhere, I just started liking it, started competing in the amateurs, and from there, I just decided to go pro. And ever since then, my goal is to stay in the pro game, but not to become a world champ. It's just more to inspire people, with the disability that I have, is that anything is possible.
What was the issue? When I heard Robert Garcia briefly touching on in an interview? Are commissions, or has a boxing commission ever tried to be an obstacle, or say that you couldn't use whatever prosthetic or brace you need to use for your leg?
Yeah. So my pro debut, it was my my first fight back in 2016, 17. I use a prosthetic leg since it's carbon fiber. Since it's really hard, they weren't trying to let me use it just because supposedly I could hurt the other opponent with it. But in reality, Robert said I'm not kicking with my leg, so
Right.
so what's the problem? Without it, I can't stand up straight and get a good balance. So without it, I can't fight. So I needed it. So we had a little argument with the commission back and forth for a bit, but after that, we got them to let us use it and okay the fight. And even until now, there's still different commissions from either Nevada or Mexico or just out of California still questioned it a little bit. Like my last fight, California commission was still questioning it a little bit, but they went to the chief's commission and he okayed it. That's what he said. If he used it before, it shouldn't be a problem. So we're set to go.
Yeah, come on, man. Jesus Christ, man. How do you how do you take that from somebody,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, for sure.
We don't want this guy to be able to stand up. That seems fair, right? I mean, come on, Jesus, man.
Yeah,
You need it, man. I mean,
yeah,
it's fascinating
exactly.
to me because I'm a nurse. I work in healthcare, man. So that's fascinating, man, that you have found a way to participate in a sport which would seem to be very unlikely, given what you've been through.
Yeah, no, of course. No, I mean, I understand. They're just trying to worry about the other opponent right now with a lot of things that's been going on with people falling into comas and getting hurt in the boxing game. They just really want to prevent a lot of things, which is understandable. I mean, like I said, I don't mind what they question as long as at the end of the day they let me continue with what I want to do, and they from being able to box, and that's really it. I don't, I don't,
Right.
I don't. I know they're just trying to do their job as well as to keep everybody safe. So I don't blame
It's
them.
an inspirational story, man. It really is an inspirational story, man. I mean,
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
yeah, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And to have gone through that like for your whole life. I mean, this is something that happened to you very young in life.
Yeah, 6 months of age, basically a newborn. Wow, a newborn actually. So yeah, and throughout my life, it's made me the person that I am today. So I actually can't complain about it, and it's made me the person that I am right now inside of boxing and outside of boxing. So that's where I'm at right now.
Uh, you'd mentioned wanting to fight for a world title, though. Is there a game plan in place? Is your goal like just to say that you've made it to a world title fight?
Well, my goal is actually not to fight for a world title fight. I've been interviewed by Ali Setbag, other newscasts at NBC News, even Robert. Robert has said, hey, you know what? He's not in it to fight for a world title, but if the opportunity presents itself, then hey, why not?
Yeah.
My main goal in the sport of boxing is to get my story out there to inspire people like myself that maybe we're gonna go through bumps in the road, but nothing's impossible. We
Right.
still let anything stop us from doing what we want to do. It's either if it's boxing, soccer, or any type of sport. So that's really my goal. To give people motivation to strive for what they actually want to do in life.
Have you thought about how to utilize that or use that after you get past your boxing career? Because obviously you seem like a guy who certainly just by your actions in the boxing world and the way you're moving, it seems like you are a guy who seems to be destined to inspire people. Is there a way you can
Yeah.
continue that? Have you thought about continuing that after boxing?
Well, my goal, like I said, my goal was to hopefully try to find a way to get my story out there, either through news, to some type of sponsorship. I've tried to get into. I don't know I don't know if you're familiar with Steve Harvey. I've tried to get into Steve Harvey's show as well. You know, to go around schools, fundraisers, and just give small speeches about motivation, about not giving up. That's really my way to give to people. I'm not in it to become rich or famous. I'm just in it because I love the sport. I love to help out people, and I love to inspire people, and I love to give people hope for those that don't have a role model in their life to give hope to. That's really my main goal.
That's real
So in
talk.
reality,
Like
to
that.
to answer your question, if I know if I've thought of a way to continue after boxing, I haven't thought that far. No, I have not.
I smell at the
But
very least. I smell at the very least a book here, man, which would be very inspiring. I.e.,
yeah,
maybe even a movie.
okay. But yeah, that's if funny thing me and Robert were talking about, hey, if the opportunity presents itself with me getting a documentary on me getting done
That's
by
what I
me,
meant.
or
Yeah,
or a movie done, then hey, I'll be more than grateful. I'll really appreciate it for the person that would take their time to do a documentary on me or a movie on me. That'd be pretty awesome.
Did you have? Go ahead, Benji's.
No, I was just gonna ask him. I was gonna get into some other stuff and ask him. One thing we like to talk about a lot on this show, you being a guy that steps through those ropes, you know what I mean, fighting. Do you think of like these hybrid matches, like MMA guys fighting boxers, or like Jake Paul fighting YouTube fights? Is that something that entices you, or do you not like it, or?
Well, look, we have to remember we're in a different now 20 we're in the century of 2024. Where a lot of the game, which is from social media to boxing, has changed. So the funny thing is that like Jake Paul, and I can't hate on them because they're doing their thing, but in reality, they take away from actual people like myself that's actually been in a boxing game, been trying to get out there, that has actually something to prove,
Right.
away from the opportunity. It brings us down a little bit, because how can myself, that I've been working so hard to try to get up there,
Right.
it's not so easy for myself, but for Jake Paul, from one day out of nowhere, he's a big star in the boxing world, which has never really been a boxer. He's been a social media influencer, which is respectable, but that's what gives him the push out there. But for myself, that I've actually been in the boxing game because it's something that I actually like, not because I tried to get famous off of it. It's so hard for me to actually get my story out there. But for him, just because he's a social media, he has a lot of people following him. It's so easy. It's so easy for him to get up there in the boxing world, which
Yeah.
I think is a little bit. It's kind of like embarrassing to the boxing game, because actual boxers that have been in the boxing world don't get the opportunity like like them, like them that haven't actually been working as hard as actual amateurs or or fighters that actually been trying to get in the boxing game but don't get the opportunity like they do.
Yeah, we were talking about that recently with somebody, man. Because based off that Fury Ngannou fight, suddenly the WBC ranked Ngannou at number 10, which is kind of a slap in the face, as you said, the guys that have been grinding and doing this for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, I mean, like I said, I can't talk. I'm not the type of person that's gonna talk smack about anybody, especially like Jake Paul or Logan Paul, just because those. In reality, I can't, because in reality, that's me talking smack about them is just it doesn't bother them. It doesn't faze them, because at the end of the day, that's what they want. That's what
Right.
people. That's what gets them more famous. So
Yeah.
I mean, to me, props to them. They're making it. I mean, no matter what. It's more on. It's just a little bit of embarrassment on in the boxing world, that they giving people those opportunities, and the people that are actually working to strive to get to where they want to be. That's really it.
I feel
But
like of
Jake
all the
Paul,
people we've asked that question to, though, you've I think he's hit on the most poignant answer, though, man. It is 2024. To a certain extent, we got to accept this kind of stuff. It's gonna
yeah, yeah,
it's gonna leak into the sport.
exactly. There's nothing much we could do. I think in reality, if I was somebody that was really known by a lot of people all over by social media, good or bad in the boxing world, I guarantee you I would have been one of the top guys up there already, no matter what, just because of all the social media followers that I have. That's how they do it, good or bad. But but because that's what's making all these promoters money. People that follow him, So people that follow him are the people that are gonna buy tickets to go see them, no matter what. So
Right.
that's what it is. But and people that don't know us, we have to find a way to win them to continue to want to see it. And that's what it really is. But like I said, I can't hate on nobody, because at the end of the day, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing to make it in life. So hey, so props to whoever's making it out there right now, especially in the boxing world, because
Yeah.
boxing is not an easy sport. It's one of the hardest sports out there, actually. So
Yeah. Especially to
congrats to
make it,
them.
man. Especially to make it to
Yeah,
the highest levels.
yes,
It's a
sir.
grind.
Yeah.
and so you've obviously done a lot of sparring. You know, it's publicly noted that you did a lot of sparring with Abner Maris. You know, what kind of stuff do you glean from? What kind of wisdom do you get from you know from rubbing up against a guy like that and being in training with him?
Yeah, well, look, that was the first time I was brought into a pro boxing camp by Robert. You know, um, um, my first time ever going into the ring with Abner Mares, I was nervous as shit. Never sparred a pro fighter. Never sparred somebody older than me or at a higher level than me. You know, so you know, I went there knowing not knowing what to expect, but in reality, I did good. I learned a lot from Abner, especially being a three-time, four-time world champ. You know, so I learned a lot from him. I took a lot from him. Just knowing to pace myself to make my punches count, and you know, just the advice that Abner gives you is it's a big thing, you know, especially knowing where Abner came from, you know. So it's a true blessing to be able to work with a person like Abner.
So I want to ask you, growing up, did you watch a lot of boxing?
I watched Robert's sister is my godmother, so that's why I call Robert my uncle. You know, so growing up, we used to watch a lot of the Fernando Vargas' his fights, and you know, as a little kid, we try to intimidate fighters on TV. You know, so every time Fernando Vargas' fights would come out, at 5, 6 years old, 7 years old, I would try to intimidate myself, pretending to move like Fernando Vargas, you know, stuff like that. So we would watch a lot of boxing. We would watch Fernando Vargas, Juan Manuel Marquez, Chavez, um, um, Sugar Mosley. We would watch a lot of fights, you know, back in the day. You know,
Yeah, we just had
Cotto as
Robert
well.
on, man. Robert's a great guy too, man. Robert's awesome.
Oh yeah, Robert's a cool dude. You know, one of the most chillest trainers that you'll meet out there. You know, so yeah, blessed to
Well,
have Robert in my corner.
I prefaced with that question of if you watched a lot of boxing growing up, because my actual question was, who was your favorite fighter growing up? And I'm thinking
Um,
maybe it might have been Vargas. I don't know.
no, I watched Vargas. I love the way Vargas fought, but my favorite fighter at all time would be Juan Manuel Marquez.
Yes. We
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
watched
that
that.
was.
We just watched that the other night, man. When he caught Manny with that right hand,
Yeah.
shocking.
That was my favorite fighter, a straight Mexican warrior. Tried the way that I believe I fight him like his style. Marcus was more of a little bit more of a counter puncher. I'm
One of
more
the
of a little
best.
brawler,
Yeah.
but what the most that I like from Marquez was just that he didn't back down from anybody. You know, he was there to fight whoever they put in front of him. You know, win or lose. You know, he was there to fight. So that was my biggest my big the person that I like the most in the boxing world. You know, and then from there it went from Juan Manuel Marquez to my generation now, Oscar Valdez. You know, no matter how he's been doing these past couple of fights, Oscar Valdez has been one of my favorite fighters as well. Just the way he has that war in him to come in, make a fight one of the best fights to give out there. You know, so that's why I like those are my two biggest fighters that I like the most. You know.
I
Hey
wasn't
man,
particularly. I wasn't
no,
particularly surprised when Juan Manuel Marquez slept Pacquiao. I wasn't all that shocked.
Oscar Valdez versus Navarrete was one of the sleeper top fights of this year for me.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah,
That was a
yeah,
great fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. One of the best ones. I think like I said, I'm a big fan of out of Oscar Valdez. I think Oscar Valdez, if he would have stuck with Manuel, the trainer, I think him going with Canelo, Eddie, and then also try to switch Oscar Valdez's style more into Canelo's style, but that doesn't fit for Oscar because Oscar's more of a brawler, you know. So I think Oscar tried to take away that brawler from himself, which wasn't winning him fights the way he used to fight win fights. Because we pay attention to Oscar's Valdez's uh, er, earlier fights, he would brawl it out on a lot of the fights this time too. And most of these recent fights with Shakur Stevenson, he would try to do a lot of counting, which wasn't working for him, in my opinion. But still don't take nothing from Valdez, because he still comes, big fan of him.
Now, wait a minute. Don't try to tell me the other night in that Shakur Stevenson Edwin De Los Santos fight that you weren't fighting back falling asleep. Come on.
That I'm not gonna lie to you, that Shakur Stevens fight, I actually did not watch. I heard a lot of bad negative comments on that fight.
Good choice.
Yeah, good choice. If you would have needed a good night's sleep, that would have been the fight to watch, though, man. I gotta say. I mean,
I heard a lot of comments from that fight. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch it, but I mean, I actually can't take nothing from Shakur. He's done a lot in the boxing world, and each fighter has that day. One of those days that it's just not their night. They try to perform the way they want to perform. As much as they try and try and try, they can't perform. It wasn't their night. They're probably able to pull off the win, but their body mentally and physically wasn't feeling it for them. So that's why I actually can't speak bad on him as well, because him as a boxer, me as a boxer, I could understand where he could be coming from time to time, because every boxer has those days, and any boxer that denies that, they're just lying to you, because every boxer is human being, and sometimes our body is feeling it, and it is what it is.
That's what I appreciated so much about Prograis in the press conference last night. Didn't make any excuses, man, and just said I kept trying to get to Devin all night, and I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Just wasn't his night.
It wasn't his night. It is what it is. It happens to the best, even to the best. Look at Canelo. Canelo tried to do the most with Bivol and couldn't do anything to Bivol just because Bivol was bigger. It is, like I said, it is what it is. It's not explainable. It's just sometimes you estimate somebody better than what they really are. So it's what happens.
Now, what was your foray into boxing though? Like, when do you make a hard line decision to say, you know what, I'm going to pursue boxing, even despite the fact that that this leg injury points to the fact that I probably shouldn't do this? When do you dig in and say, I'm committing myself to this? Do you remember what age you were at?
Let me see. I think at the point where we're at the age, I want to say when I was like 19, at 19, I want to say right when I went to Robert gym to spar. Robert when I went to go spar with Abner Matis, I think at that point I just said, hey, you know what? Let me see what I could do with the sport, So I was 19. That from there, I just kept going and see what happens. I think I'm at the stage where I have a few years in me left. Maybe one or two. If something happens in the sport, then it happens. If nothing happens as well, then then I'll be okay. Because I feel like I've done a couple of good things in the sport of boxing, where I've written my story on WBC, NBC News, on a couple of famous, well-known pages. So I could say, at this point, I could say that I'll be okay if I retire from boxing. As of right now, that's not the plan. Robert and I have a different mindset. I can't really speak on it right now, just because don't want to jinx the opportunities that
I get it, man. I get it.
So hopefully the opportunities that are coming this upcoming year really do happen, and from there then we'll continue. But as of right now, I'm going with the flow into the year to see what happens. And with retiring, there's really not much to say as if when am I gonna retire or how long am I gonna keep going? Because in reality, boxing is just a hobby for me. So 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 if it helps me provide for my family, then I'll continue. But if I get to the point where it's not helping me provide for my family, then I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna have to retire. You know.
But you are finding some success, though. You know what I mean? Like you're calling it a hobby, but yet you are finding success at it, though.
Yeah, yeah, no. As of right now, yes, yes, we're more most definitely. Like I said, I'm not in it for the money. I'm not I'm not in it for the money. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, sure. We don't edit anything here. That's what's so great about our podcast, man. We don't edit none of this. This is life happening and unfolding in front of us, man.
We just roll with the punches, so to speak.
We just roll with the punches, so to speak.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right. We roll with the punches, a la our man James Toney, man. Who I would encourage people to go check out the channel because James Toney is up there, lights out.
Okay. Let me answer this call real quick. Stay on the line.
Sure, absolutely. Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Benji's, we can chop it up on here, right?
Yeah.
We can kill a couple minutes. No problem there. Never any problem there, man. Yeah. So, yeah, I like taking this little intermission. This is kind of nice. I wish our guests would get calls more often. You know, it gives us a chance to, to get some stuff off our chest that we might not necessarily remember at the beginning. But we try to be good at saying at the end. But I mean, certainly like and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And like us and follow us on Facebook.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. No worries, man. And so earlier you had made a comment about at one point you had gotten overweight. Explain a little bit about what that journey was. Like, was that like something that had to do like with your health affliction? What brought that on?
Well, yeah, no, me being overweight was well, check this out. Me growing up, I was never overweight. I used to be this little skinny kid, growing up. Got to the point back in 2006 is when I had a surgery where they had to broke my leg, re-lengthen it just because my right leg was shorter than my left leg.
Right.
So they had to make it catch up. That surgery took about. I was in bed for almost a year and a half, just taking antibiotics, taking all kinds of medication. And then medication has a lot of salt. So and without me doing any physical activity, I was just in bed. So that made me. I want to say from being a small kid at maybe weighing 100 pounds, went from 100 pounds to 195, almost 200 pounds, just from having drinking a lot of medication and being in bed for almost a year and a half, so I think that's what caused me to be overweight.
Man, it's quite a journey back, man. I mean, it seems like the unthinkable. So your own parents, how supportive of they are you when you're getting into a sport like boxing that's so physical? Is this something that you're in favor of?
Yeah, no, well, I think they're really supportive, bro. Especially my dad, and one of the biggest supporters that I have in the boxing world for myself. He supports me in anything I do, especially in the boxing world. He said he's willing to ride with me as far as I want to go in the boxing world. So both of my parents are really good supporters. My mom, at first, and like any other mom, she was more on the scared side of that's too dangerous. She would get nervous. For her to go watch me fight, which is understandable. But from time to time, after a while, she got used to it and she got excited to go to fight. She saw that I was doing good and she saw that I was able to handle myself pretty good. So she got over it. Obviously, like any other parent, still a dangerous sport. So I'm pretty sure she still feels some type of nerves when the fight comes. You know.
Mothers.
A mother never knows how her son's gonna handle himself.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
that's true. That's true. That's real, man. Yeah, that's true. I can't see like any mom ever really being like, "Hey, son, I'm all for this boxing thing." You know, like
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched that. I never watched it before, but recently I watched that movie, The Fighter, and Dickie Eklund and Mickey Ward's mom was pretty. She wanted him to fight.
yeah, she
Yeah,
did.
exactly.
That's rare.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta remember that's back in a different type of century. I think that's not century, but
Yeah.
that's more, but back in the day, and don't get me wrong, until this day, there's still moms, there's still parents that still get like that.
Yeah.
But it's rare when you run into parents like that. And I believe no matter even the parent that is talking like that, I think deep down they're still getting nervous. It's just more in the heat of the moment that they have a huge pride that they don't want their sons to be embarrassed. So then they get into that trash talk as well. But after the trash talk is finished, in reality, I'm pretty sure that mom is nervous deep down inside, basically saying, "What did I get my son into? My
Right.
son into why like." But now she can't back out because she's gonna even look more bad when she was doing all this trash talking. Now, oh no, you can't do that no more. So I think they just try to like suck it up and not show it as much, and then other parents. But I believe any mother is gonna get nervous no matter what. Just some mothers won't show it and others will.
And then the fathers are like, "That a boy. That's my son."
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is. As long as we do good, our dads will be happy, and our mothers will be happy as well. And just some mothers won't show the nerves, and some mothers will. That's what it is.
Now he doesn't get questions in very often, but the Alexis Arguello puppet back there, of course, a Nicaraguan boxing legend back there.
He might be a little out of frame.
Yeah, is he a little out of frame? Yeah, there he is right there.
Yeah.
So he would like to know, and he doesn't talk much, and he doesn't get a lot of questions in either. Who's the best Mexican fighter of all time? Is it Canelo or is it still Julio Cesar Chavez? Or maybe it's somebody else. Shut up, Arguello.
Best Mexican fighter of all time. You got to go back into the day. Sanchez.
Wow, going back to Salvador Sanchez.
Salvador Sanchez, one of the best fighters.
I like a young guy like this, man, going back and doing his homework, man, and knowing the history. That's great.
You got to remember, Salvador Sanchez was a dog in the ring, doing 15 rounds nonstop.
I know.
That's what you call a legend.
And it's so easy for people to say Julio Cesar because he is such an obvious choice, man. But I like when you dig a little deeper.
Exactly. Well, you got to remember, people that are really not into boxing are just gonna go with names that are really known in the boxing world, that have made history. Julio Cesar Chavez has made history. No matter what Canelo has done, he has made history as well. That's why he's known, even by people that don't watch boxing. It is what it is. But and the only people that are really gonna know who Salvador Sanchez are people that are really into boxing. People that are really not into boxing are always gonna choose Canelo or Chavez or Juan Manuel or back in the day Trinidad or Macho Camacho. Those fighters. But people that know boxing are gonna probably go back into Sanchez.
In your opinion, and this has been debated a lot very recently, obviously Canelo has done everything imaginable in the sport. He certainly doesn't have anything more to prove per se, but it is debated whether if he doesn't fight David Benavidez in his career, and avoids a guy who obviously he should have on his resume, does that hurt his legacy, or would he be? I mean, obviously he'd be okay if he retired and Benavidez wasn't on his resume. But do you think it's a fight that he needs to take?
I don't think. If you think like Canelo, I don't think that's a fight that he's going to take, nor that he's willing to take, or that he should take. The reason why is because he wants to be the Mexican warrior. He wants to be he wants to create history for Mexico. So the funny thing is, going for Canelo to go against another Mexican warrior is, and him running the risk of losing against that person. That title of being the legacy of Mexico is gonna go away.
That's big. Yeah, that's big.
So it's gonna so
I never thought of that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming Canelo for not fighting Benavidez because he wants to stay on that category as the best Mexican fighter. Because that's why if you pay attention, he'll rather fight one of the Charlos brothers. He'll rather fight Bivol, because those aren't Mexicans. They're not gonna take the title of the Mexican warrior with him. If he fights another Mexican, then and he gets beat by that Mexican, then he's gonna lose that title of being one of the best Mexican warriors.
And that is coveted. That is coveted.
But you can't tell me one of the biggest things for Mexico would be David Benavidez, Canelo Alvarez, Cinco de Mayo.
Huge.
That would, like you just said,
that would go crazy.
That would go crazy. But in reality, is it actually gonna happen? I don't think so. Will it surprise people if it happens? I'll probably surprise a lot of people if it happens. But I personally, just the way that Canelo's thinking right now, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah. He doesn't want to seem to run the risk, and that does seem like a coveted title, man. Like how you're seen in the eyes of the Mexican boxing fans, it matters to Mexican fighters.
Yeah, and I swear nobody should blame Canelo, because he has put in the work to call his shots, so that's okay, he's put in the work that a lot of fighters think he hasn't, but I think he has, a guy that turned pro at 15, that's been in the pro game since 15 years, to become world champ at 21, 22, or 23, and still continue to fight, I think he's put in a lot of work,
Champ, you're a remarkable story, man. 70 surgeries. 70.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's insane. That's insane, man. That's insane, man. And to still be here and still be fighting, man, it really is inspirational, man. It is.
Oh, thank you. That brings joy to me, just to hear people that are touched by my story, So that's, like I said, that's my goal in the boxing world, to get people to be touched by my story, and be inspired from this, as long as I know I'm doing something with that, then I'm happy with that as well, So I appreciate
as long as when the movie is made, man, this interview is captured in the movie, and I want someone very handsome to play me. I don't know who yet, man. I'll get back to you on that, man. We can get anybody to play Benji's over there, man.
If it happens, most definitely we'll make it happen, But let's hope it happens first.
I'm glad we got this.
Ryan Gosling's got to play me.
Oh, come on, Ryan Gosling. Come on. That's ridiculous. I won't hear of that, man. And besides, he's the star, man. We got to have the right guy to play him. I'll work on it, man. I got to look at your picture a little more. We got to get the right guy to play you. The right guy.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hopefully we can get somebody interested in making a movie on me first, man.
Yeah,
and then
come on.
We'll go from there, But,
hey, listen, Hollywood's all out of good ideas. That's why they're going back and ruining all the '80s movies with remakes. I mean, Hollywood's tapped, man. They need great inspirational stories like this, man.
They need something else than just trying to remake a old movie into a newer movie.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
They're doing. Yeah, that's what they're doing right now, since they have nothing else to make right now. But
So what's next for you, champ, man? Like, when do you like plan on or foreseeing yourself fighting again?
Well, I just fought last week.
I was gonna say, come on, he just knocked somebody out, dude.
I
Yeah,
know.
I just fought last
Give him a
week.
couple months off.
I just fought last week. Came out a great victory. You know, won on the fourth round by KO. You know, great news that Robert has gave to me after the fight. You know, hoping that news goes through. You know, if it does, Robert wants me back in camp. I want to say right at the beginning of the year. You know, so I'm pretty sure he has something planned for me, either February or April. You know, so we're just waiting on those dates. See what
Why
happens.
waste time, right? Life's too short. There's asses to be kicked.
Exactly. No, that's the point. You know, that's my goal. You know, hopefully these opportunities do present itself. You know, and hopefully we get to be back in the ring in February or April. You know, that's the main plan right now.
Keep the grind going, man. Keep the grind going. Absolutely, man. Listen, man. I mean, it's been great. I'm glad we got to do this, man. Better late than never, man. I'm glad you.
Yeah, of course.
Man. Yeah.
And first of all, I do want to apologize again for being
no worries.
A little bit late on it, but thank you for taking me. You know, and
I was just chilling, waiting to see if you did back. Honestly,
I know. I mean, this is just our side hustle, man. We're not sitting someplace, having this our main job, you know.
Yeah, but as well, like this is your a little like fun activity thing that, you know, boxing is my fun activity thing. So
yeah,
I know you enjoy doing this, and I like it too when people find interest in my story too, you know. So
we do.
So don't think I was trying to brush you guys off. You know?
No. I know. I knew talking to you a couple of days ago, man. Like you were very into it, very excited, man. I got your voice message, and
Yeah, just back a little, like a couple weeks before when you were trying to reach out, you know, just cutting weight.
I know.
I was forgetting to reply. I'm like, damn, you know. So, you know.
No, I understood. As soon as you said that that it was your week to cut weight, dude, I understood, man. And I was like, okay, man, I get that, man.
Yeah, we get a little grumpy, you know.
Sure.
So that's the thing. So like, I'm gonna just. So that's what it was. But after the fight, then that's when I replied. I'm like, hey, you know what? I do apologize, but hey, you know what? We came out with a great victory. Was able to connect with you guys, and hopefully in the future we're able to continue connecting and
we'd love
these
to.
Interviews, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, please stay in touch. We'll definitely do them again. And the minute he started about cutting weight, man, as soon as he started cutting weight, I got instantly hungry.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I'm hungry.
He hasn't. He hasn't cut weight in ever.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as you lose it, I find it, man. But I mean, listen, man, it's been an absolute honor, man. We wish you all the success, man. We'll keep an eye on your career, man. You know, please keep us posted. You got anything that's coming up, man, to talk about, man? Hop on here with us, man. We'd love to have you back.
Sure, yeah. As soon as I get the okay from the news that Robert has for me, and as soon as I get the okay to talk about it on all over social media and on interviews, then hey, you'll be one of the first people that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We want to know whose ass is getting kicked next, man. We got to know. You know,
inquiring
minds want to know.
I'll keep you updated if a big show comes up and I'm in it, you know. So I'll keep you guys updated. Appreciate it.
Please do. It's good talking to you, Jose. We appreciate
it. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me in your show, and man, hopefully stay in touch.
Yeah, we'll do, Brett Champ. Have a good one, man.
Likewise, have a good night. Enjoy your night.
Later.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Another good guy, another great interview. What else can we say? But Off the Couch Boxing goes deep again.
Right.
Woo, that one's gone. Smoked it. That was, of course, Jose Delgado.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask him directly, but what weight does he fight at?
Last known the box rec had him down was Super Feather.
Super Feather.
Just had a knockout on the December 2nd. At the time of us sitting here yapping with you, it's December 10th. So 8 days ago, he handed somebody their ass.
Yep.
Which is nice to hear.
Inside of 4 rounds.
But the inspiring story is obviously, man, at age 6 months old, and he's had 70 surgeries on the leg since, severed his right leg at the knee and took it clean off.
Right.
And so the fact that he's fighting on any level, irregardless, I mean, and his record currently is at 11-2 right now. Certainly not terrible, but just the fact that he's doing it at all is just so super inspirational. And of course, under the guidance and tutelage of our buddy, the great Robert Garcia, man, who's graced us with the privilege of getting to interview him on our show, man. So I mean, hey, you're not doing too fucking bad, man, if you're working out and training with Robert Garcia.
Dude, 11-2 is really respectable.
Yeah.
Record.
But I also like the fact that it's all about like realistic goals. You know what I mean? He's a young man that just because he's getting in there and doing it and finding some moderate success, he's not getting delusions of grandeur. You know what I mean? He understands that there's probably only so far boxing can take him, man, like with his limitations, man. But it's the bigger picture. It's saying, hey, look, I don't have to be a world champion or have all these accolades and trophies and belts dumped on me, man. I'm using this as a vehicle, man, for hopefully people, find out about my story, pick up on it. It's inspirational because people look at him and say, wow, he had his leg taken off at a young age and still
had a boxing career.
Found the ability to have a boxing career. Yeah, it's remarkable.
Right.
It's nothing short of remarkable. I mean, 70 surgeries. Yeah. I've had 2 of them ready to give up on life. I mean,
70 surgeries and has a boxing career.
Yeah, and is working with the likes of Robert Garcia. I mean, easily one of the most sought after and elite trainers in the in the game. I mean,
right.
And I mean, like, this kid is just grinding, dude. He's doing his thing, and he realizes, man. Again, I'll touch on that. The fact that there is a bigger picture. You know what I mean? This is a story that, the very least needs to have a documentary made about it. Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's out in California. If I lived close, God damn, I'd be there with some kind of a camera. My iPhone, at the very least, just following him for a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Watching his daily grind, watching his interactions at home with his people, with his family, how he moves at the gym or whatever, man. I mean, come on, man. Like, the world wants to dump on us so much, and I guess this is my little rant. The world wants to dump so much negativity on us in the news and tell us about hostage situations and wars and who we're not getting along with, and how the price of this has gone up or that's gone up, man. But nobody wants to put any shine, and a couple of news sources have, which is how a lot of how I found out about Jose Delgado. But I mean, nobody wants to put any shine on that kind of a story and make a movie or even a feel good, even if it was a 45-minute documentary on the guy,
Tell John Polano.
I know, right? Yeah. Hey, Jose, I don't want to make any promises. After you watch your episode through, man, you'll see our little post, our little post interview ramble that we're obviously doing right here, man. But listen, Jose, I may have a couple connects. Let me talk to my people in Hollywood. I'll have my people get with your people. We'll see if we can have a sit-down meeting.
Yeah, but I think I should say now that like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Hit the notification bell. It's either here, somewhere.
Make that a priority.
And find us on Facebook, doing 3-punch combos. Find me on TikTok at Frank Benji's. And I got to quote Gary Busey, and I got to shout out Alexis Arguello, too.
He got a question in tonight. He got something in. So, we like that. Big ups to Alexis. Yeah.
And, to quote our great American poet, Gary Busey, I will say that I can go 15 seconds with anything.
That's right. And I will remind people, man, and again, thank Jose Delgado for coming on here, man. Super featherweight contender out of California, man, training with Robert Garcia, man, and he is a probably nothing short of a miracle story. I mean, loses his leg at a very young age, and yet here he is in a boxing ring, man, in a boxing ring under the tutelage of one of the great trainers, man, and out there doing his thing and realizing, having the wherewithal, as a young man to realize, man, that this story can reach people and touch people,
With the slogan.
Quote the slogan. If you want to be a champion like us and like Jose Delgado, grow a set. And remember, if you want to be a champion, this is the most important part. Then you got to roll with the champs.